doing this. It's going to be good.
Yeah, cool.
I have a story to tell you. There is an ancient Chinese myth about Pangu, the ancestors of all mankind. He has a man's body and a dog's head. How did he get to be like this? I shall tell you. Up in heaven, the god in charge of the earth, Gaozin, owned a beautiful spotted dog.
The dog was called Pangu. He loved his dog and looked after him very well, making sure he had enough food and exercise.
But Gaozin had a great rival, god called Fang. He was very jealous of Gaozin. Whenever he saw Gaozin with his dog, he would get very angry and lightning would fly from his arms.
Gaozin was fed up with always being bothered by Fang. He was so fed up that he promised that anyone who got rid of Fang could marry his daughter.
I can't believe my dad has promised my hand to anyone who gets rid of that bad old Fang.
Nobody was willing to get rid of God Fang. They were too afraid of him. When one prince tried to get rid of him, he was hit by bolts of lightning and turned into a fountain.
Pangu, the spotted dog, overheard this. "Marry the princess," he said. When his master was asleep, he jumped to cloud until he found God Fang.
Fang was very pleased to see Pangu. Ha ha ha, rewarded God Fang. Even his dog had had enough of him. He held a special banquet to honor Pangu. They ate and ate and ate.
The old woman pauses on the top of the hill. She closes her book and looks at the audience. Now, this next part of the story is very gruesome. Do you want me to continue?
The crowd of people are now listening to her story. They all say, "Please tell the rest of your story." The old woman opened the book again and says, "Now, where was I? Ah, yes."
At midnight, when all was quiet and Fang had fallen asleep, Pangu jumped onto the god's bed and bit off his head. Then he picked it up and ran back to his master.
Gaozing was very pleased. Gaozing was overjoyed. "Bring Pangu his favourite dog food," he ordered. "He has done better than any of you soldiers and princes."
Pangu did not eat any of the food brought to him. He sat in the corner of the room and went to sleep.
For 3 days he ate nothing and did not move. He just snored and slept.
"Why don't you eat? Is it because I failed to keep my promise of giving you my daughter in marriage?" Gaozing asked, feeling puzzled. Pangu sat up and began to speak. "Don't worry, master. Cover me in your golden bill. In 7 days and 7 nights I'll become a man."
Gaozin did as he said. He covered the dog in the giant bells. 6 days and nights passed by. On the 6th day, the princess, fearing he would starve to death, she peeped under the bell.
Under the bell was Pangu's body, had already lost its spots and had turned into a man, but his head was still that of a dog. The princess had stopped the magic from working. Pangu was now a man with a dog's head.
Pangu and the princess had a big wedding.
But the princess was embarrassed by her husband, so they left the land of the clouds and moved to the earth. They settled in the mountains of South China.
There they lived happily and had 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. They became the ancestors of mankind.
The old lady closed her book. Thank you for listening to my story.
A small boy comes up to the old lady. "Is that story true?" says the boy. The old lady turns to him. "No, it's just an ancient Chinese myth."
The boy hands an old lady a gold coin. "Thank you for telling the story." The old lady says, "Thank you, now I must be on my way."